Hey, Product 7 folks. I'm going to show you the steps that it takes to qualify a, a prospect when you're a salesperson or you're a lead generation person looking to make sure that a potential customer fits your criteria. Initially, we have a set of criteria that we want to go by because we don't want just to sell to everybody. And let's say, for example, that I'm selling software testing to people in Texas. And for example, I would be looking for software companies. So my prospect criteria would be software companies between, let's say, $3 and $10 million in revenue. The person that I want to talk to would be a VP of development. And generally I am looking for companies that are in Texas. It's easier for me to get my folks there. And there are also triggering events that would make it timely for me to talk to them, and we'll talk to them later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So generally what happens is that I would receive an email because of the marketing that I was doing. Somebody would click on an AdWords account, and I would get something like this: Bob Jones at acornsys.com. Well, I don't know what Acorn Systems is, so I would take this, copy it, and I go into my browser and I type acornsys. Well, I would paste it because that'd be an awful lot faster. And we see that we got the Acorn Systems website here. So Acorn Systems, the profit improvement company, solution for business initiatives, who we are. Let's see who. First thing I would do is try to identify whether or not they're a software company. So I'd go to this page here. Acorn provides profit improvement solutions that enable clients to maximize revenue, minimize costs, and operational efficiencies. Well, it sounds like a software company. Let's go to the solutions page. See what they have here. Financial services. To remain competitive, they must have the ability to measure at any level, product, customer segment. Acorn solution to support critical decisions in the areas of cost allocation and ABCM, supply chain costing and efficiencies. That sounds like software to me for ABC cost accounting. So that's good. Okay, so if you remember, they've hit my first criteria. They're a software company. Well, let's see what their size would be. The next thing that I would do is I would go over to my browser and I would go to Yahoo Finance search. And that's probably the easiest, cheapest way to figure out if a company matches your criteria. So we'll go over there and let's type in Acorn Systems. All right, well, it looks like Acorn is big enough to show up on Yahoo. That's a good thing. And you can see that their industry here is business and software services. That tells me that they're definitely in our target zone. The company provides performance management software that private, not-for-profit, and public sector companies use to measure, improve, and predict product costs. That's great. That's exactly what we need. So, do they match our other criteria? Let's go over here to the contact information. They're in Houston, Texas. That's our criteria there, so they're in Texas. That's good. Let's see their financial information. Fiscal year end. Well, it's $3.6 million. That's exactly what we're looking for. If you remember that our criteria were software companies, $3 to $10 million, VP of product development in Texas. Well, the one thing that we don't know right now is whether or not they've got a VP of product development. They probably do. So I can go back through this information and make sure that we got some key people here: the chairman, the president, CEO, their sector, there's technology. Oh, and they've got some competitors here. So these people may be people that we want to talk to as well. But if in any event, this is all the information that we need to know whether or not they fit our criteria. So let's go back to the Acorn site and see whether or not they've got a VP of product development. The place where we can find a lot of information about this company is under the Company tab. If you're going to be doing this manually, you're going to be perusing these websites pretty tightly. We would go into the Company page, and we would look for leadership or something like that. And you can see that this is exactly what we're looking for. A board of directors, and then an executive team. All right, well, it looks like Torsten Wierick is the Executive Vice President of Product Development for Acorn Systems, and he's the guy that I want to talk to. So I want to know as much as I possibly can about Torsten. I would read up on Torsten and know that this is the guy that I want to call if I'm going to be selling him some software testing services. Another thing that we would want to do is see if there's any kind of events that have happened at Acorn that tells us whether or not it's timely for them to buy our services. If you remember, there's trigger events. In this case, let's say that they were looking for, maybe they just got funded. Recent funding. This is not going to be the only reason why I would talk to them, but it would be something to talk about with them, and would certainly tell me that they are looking to spend money. Let's go back over to the page. Company, contact us, and I'm always looking for a news and events page. Press releases. Okay, so October 9th, Acorn announces successful renewal of software solution partner. So SAP, so that's great. So they're a partner with SAP. They've picked up a new customer. Well, if they've picked up new customers, that means that their demand for development may have gone up, or maybe they've gotten new updates. So that tells me that they may need some more testing. Another customer here. They've got some new programs here, and if I was really serious about talking to Acorn, then I would go through these press releases. And so what I would want to do is see all these press releases, or at least these titles, in one sheet on one page, so that I would know whether or not they were important for me to read. Also, I would also dig through these locations. Well, let's see where they are. Looks like they are in Houston, Pennsylvania. Oh, they're in Austin too. That's great. Okay, well, that's it. Identifying a prospect is fairly easy, but there are also many ways that you can, and many industries. But in this particular case, it would be for software testing. And in general, though, that's always the same kind of thing. I'm looking for a type of company. I'm looking for the size of the company, the person that I want to talk to, where they're located, and then also if there's some sort of triggering event. And I would get that information off of their press release page generally. So that's how I do that's how I do some general prospecting, just manually, and that's the type of thing that Prospect Identity would automate for us. All right. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send us an email. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.